What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video, and we have some pretty awesome news today. We have the information for the brand new KIZUNA Clash SUGO Fest that's going to be dropping here with Bato and Cavendish, and we do have information for the actual KIZUNA unit themselves. We'll go through that in today's video as well, and also a brand new support banner, and this is a big one for me personally, because Mr. 3, which is like one of the only support rare recruits that I don't have, is a featured character on the banner. I suppose we'll start here because I am most excited for this out of the two banners. I will be doing pulls on this because I want the support queen. Typically, the support rare recruit will help you a lot in the Super Boss KIZUNA Clash. Typically. Let's go ahead and break this one down. So this one is going to be starting on January 20th, which is not far away. We'll probably get the official announcement tomorrow. The day after that will be the official release of the SUGO Fest. It's a pretty typical looking support banner though. You've got the guaranteed support unit on the first multi, a guaranteed recommended unit on the second, meaning one of the 4 characters on the artwork of the banner is guaranteed on the second multi, which is pretty good. You got a guaranteed legend on the third, another support rare recruit on the 4th, and then obviously it just cycles all the way through until you get the guaranteed queen on the 10th multi, which we sincerely hope that doesn't have to happen because it's happened to me plenty times before. Anyways, the interesting thing here is the fact that Caesar is actually boosted here, because when you actually have a look at what Queen does, it's interesting that Caesar is also boosted alongside him. So let's go ahead and break down the information of what Queen actually does. Artwork looks super good on this character, by the way. This could definitely be like a summonable unit, like a talk about like a SUGO Fest exclusive. Like, this artwork looks really, really good. And also, look at the sprite of this guy. I feel like, just this is this tinfoil hat theory, they've gone out and made this sprite look super crazy because I have a feeling they're going to be using liberties with this sprite in a future SUGO Fest exclusive coming soon. That's my assumption here. We'll have to wait and see, of course, because this is actually Hybrid Queen. You know, it's crazy that they're debuting Hybrid Queen as a support rare recruit. Absolutely absurd. Either way, Queen is an int-driven shooter. The rest of his abilities pretty much don't matter. Like, it's nothing really that crazy. It's the support effect that's the most important, attaching to Jack, Kaido, King, and Yamato. And the effect says that when you use a special on one of those units that changes your slots, reduces bind by 1 turn, and applies a minus 10% all type resistance to all enemies for 1 turn. That's amazing. Just a couple things about that. Only attaching to Jack, Kaido, King, and Yamato, but not only does it attach to those, it has to be units that also do orb change. So obviously the new Kaido versus Yamato, both of those characters will work with the support. Both have specials that manipulate slots, and they go through block slots as well. But also the Int Yamato and the Sai Yamato also do slot manipulation. They change matching and block slots into Wano. So that's another character you could potentially attach it to. Quick Kaido as well. Quick Super Type Kaido is an orb change unit, so that's also another option. There's a couple of pretty decent units you can attach this support to. Speaking more about the Int and Sai Yamato though, those characters as captains resist bind already, so the bind part of the effect won't really matter that much. But if you opt to use those characters as crewmates on your team, having access to a bind remover on call is really, really strong. But the thing about it as well, the minus 10% resistance, it's all type resistance. This is the first effect we've had in the game that actually does this. So it's essentially a rainbow resistance boost, which is really strong. Every character essentially gets a 10% bonus damage increase. It's a free 1.1 bonus to your damage, which is very strong. So ultimately, I think it's a pretty good support, but I also am kind of interested as well because they have also featured this Caesar Clown alongside it as well, and this Caesar attaches also to Kaido, and if you use an attack or an orb boosting special on a Kaido, reduces bind by 2 turns and gives you a poison conditional boost. Like, it's really weird because this character essentially does the same thing with what Kaido would aim to do. So if you have to use Kaido for the Super Boss KIZUNA and you need to remove bind in some capacity, you know, that Caesar should work, unless if the enemy's immunity buffs means that this support doesn't activate. If that is the case, then that does suck, but ultimately, if it does work that way, then you could just replace one support for another on the Super Boss KIZUNA if it comes down to it. Just putting it out there, because I found that to be kind of interesting. Now, there's also the KIZUNA banner that's coming out, starting also on January 20th. We don't know when the exact time that the official Kizuna is going to drop, but of course when we get information regarding the gimmicks of the fights, I'll be making videos regarding it. So the Kizuna Sugo Fest here is going to be featuring Boa Hancock, which was the debut legend in the last month Kizuna Clash. So it's awesome that this character is going to be back alongside Toki and also who was it? Toki and Sugar. So Sugar is an interesting one. We're going to be making a separate video talking about her super evolution, so make sure to stay tuned for that because her super evolution is very interesting. Luffy this is a really, really good Kizuna rare recruit, and then Whitebeard, another really good Kizuna rare recruit. But yeah, the Boa Hancock and also Toki, so it's a pretty good looking banner in all honesty. Let's have a look at the recommended steps here. So recommended is on the 3rd, guaranteed legend on the 4th, new character on the 5th. I mean, yeah, it's a pretty typical looking Kizuna banner. The first discount multi, the first multi is a discount, but remember that these rare recruits are typically only good on the normal bosses of Kizuna. These Kizuna rare recruits are usually not the ideal options for the super boss Kizuna. So depending on how you want to play your Kizuna, whether you get these characters to help you get more super boss tokens and also tickets, that definitely can help. But these characters themselves are not ultimately going to help you that much in terms of damage on your super boss. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Let's go ahead and break down what these characters actually do. So we've got Cavendish here. I think the artwork actually looks kind of janky on this character, by the way. Dex-driven Cerebral. Captain effect, boost Dex-driven Cerebral attack by 3.5, HP by 1.2. And it has a boost where you get the additional tickets, you get additional tokens, boosted stats, and minus 15 cooldown, and rainbow affinity. He does not get the buffed Captain ability, so that's interesting. And then the special changes block and unfavorable into matching. Paralysis and attack down are removed by 5. Rainbow Shield removed by 5, and a color affinity boost, driven Cerebral 2.25 by 1 turn. That's a great special, dude. This special is cracked. Really, really good effect. Yeah, I don't see much wrong with this unit at all. What else does he have? He does make Dex slots beneficial to Driven and Cerebral, and he doesn't have a very good support effect, and of course he does not have any Rumble abilities. But his special is really strong. I can definitely see this special being used in a lot of content outside of the Kizuna. Kudos to Bandai for this one. It's a really, really good Kizuna rare recruit we have in Cavendish, so not bad at all. Now, next to him, we have Bartolomeo. Let's go ahead and have a look and see what he's all about. He does have a buffed captain, so let's see. The base captain is 3.5 to Driven Striker, 20% damage reduction. He himself is Int Driven Striker. The boosted captain effect is going to be 5.25 to Driven and Striker, 30% damage reduction, and int slots are beneficial. That's a pretty strong captain ability during the event period here. And then he has a multi-stage special. Okay, let's check out level 2. 30 turns! Okay, so they're basically making it so you're not going to get level 2 ever, except in the Kizuna itself. I don't like that at all. That's kind of lame. So stage 1 special, which is what you're going to get most of the time in normal content, 80% damage reduction, 6 turns of despair removal, 6 turns of threshold removal, and 90% defense removal. Reduces all enemies' defense by 90% for 1 turn. Okay, it's not a bad special. 90% defense reduction is kind of whack. I guess you could kind of use versus Yamato with this character because the 90% damage reduction will allow you to get the damage reduction based attack boost, and that's probably what they're wanting you to do with this character. Very, very odd. But let's see. Level 2 special, 30 turn cooldown, nullifies all damage for 1 turn, reduces despair by 6, reduces threshold by 6, 0 defense for 1 turn, and if your captain is Driven or Striker, 2.25 conditional boost versus defense down. Okay, yeah, I get it. It's kind of weird though. I mean, stage 1 special is still fine. I mean, the 6 turn removal of those debuffs is really strong, and that's the best component of the unit. The additional effects from level 2, I mean, they're good, but I mean, in normal content, you're not stalling for this level 2 special. You might as well just use something else. Any other crewmate abilities that are interesting? Int slots matching to Driven Striker is not too bad. No support effect, unfortunately, and of course, no Rumble abilities. So, look, as we kind of said, you know, Bato and Cavendish, you kind of want to use them in the normal Kizuna. They give you more boss tokens. they're ideal for that, and then they're not very good for the super boss itself. So it just depends on how you want to play the game, and it is investing more gems into yet another banner, which I think, considering we are relatively close now to the global anniversary, we're only a month away, I think it would be a wise decision to conserve your gems for the global anniversary, or if you want to save until May 12th for the official anniversary, or something else later on down the line, you know what I'm talking about, you may want to save your gems for that. Either way, that is that in terms of the KIZUNA banner. I'm not really a big fan of this one, though they did feature some pretty good units. I'm definitely going to be pulling on the support banner though, hopefully getting Mr. 3, and hopefully getting Queen. So shout out to my man Solaris for giving us the data info on the new KIZUNA character. Now, he did take the screenshot very quickly here. This is actually the 5-star plus version, so the plus is not showing here. But this is what the super evolved version of the free-to-play Dofi that we will get our hands on in the KIZUNA Clash itself. So Dofi is quick-driven cerebral. Now, interestingly enough, this character is a 40 cost character, and the reason why they're doing that is because he synergizes with the new super evolution of Sugar. It's weird that they've done it this way, but he kind of synergizes with Sugar in that way. It's odd. Anyway, the special ability of the character, this is not the max special cooldown, he's obviously going to go a lot lower, but it does a -1 cooldown to the crew, it locks your slots for 1 turn, boosts the base attack of characters with a cost of 40 or less by 1500 for 3 turns, and if you've got a driven or a cerebral captain, then it reduces your bind and attack down by 5 turns. It's a pretty good special, honestly, it's pretty good. I mean, the base attack boost, I'll take it or leave it. I'm more looking at the utility side of things. If I want my damage, I usually look at SUGOFest exclusives for that, or boosted event characters for that. The actual effect is fine. I think the minus cooldown is really strong. The locking of slots is a super underrated mechanic, but it's mainly just the other utility of bind and attack down, which it's fine. It's a perfectly okay effect. It is weird though, because the 5-star version of Dofi, so the pre-super evolution, essentially has the same special, except that it's a smaller base attack boost, but the rest of the effects are actually the same. So I don't know why they decided to make it like this. It probably should have been 6 turns of bind and attack down removal with the super evolution, or multiple turns of orb lock would have been interesting. So the special's still strong though. The captain ability, free-to-play captain, is going to be a 4 times boost to driven cerebral, 1.2 HP and recovery, which is pretty strong, and then boosting the attack of driven and cerebral with a cost of 40 or less by 4.5 times instead. And then for driven and cerebral, quick recovery and tandem mechanics matching. As I said, very good free-to-play captain effect here. Crewmate ability makes driven and cerebral recovery and tandem slots matching. That's a very good crewmate ability. I don't think we can see the other crewmate ability. Hopefully there is another one that resists special reverse. That would be amazing. That would be really, really strong. In terms of the PvP stuff, he's just kind of basic in terms of what he does. Not too much damage, a little bit of debuffing. Like, it's nothing really too crazy there. So, Doflamingo seems okay. I'm not the biggest fan of him, but it really comes down to his additional crewmate ability. Hopefully it's special reverse, and what his other potential abilities are going to be. And I don't believe he has a support effect either, which is kind of bad. But overall, I think he'll be an interesting addition, and hopefully he'll be useful in a lot of content moving forward. Also on the event island, we can see that there is going to be a KIZUNA Clash farming island where we can farm it up to 5 times. Make sure to use double buggy when you're farming this, as you can get a lot of those tokens to kickstart your KIZUNA runs whenever the KIZUNA does officially drop. But that's pretty much all the information that I wanted to talk about in this video. We're going to be uploading another video as well. It might already be uploaded by the time you see this video, where we're going to be talking about the new super evolution for Sugar, and all of her buffs are pretty interesting, so make sure to stay tuned to the channel for that. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video today, and if you guys did, make sure to go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. I'm that, guys. I'll see you guys within the next video.